Welcome back, everyone. This is Zero, and you're tuning in to Day 4, Build Your English Vocabulary Easily. We're on a mission to make learning English fun and effective, and today, Emma and I are going to show you some practical ways to expand your vocabulary without feeling overwhelmed. Right, Emma?
That's right, Zero. Hi, everyone. Day 4 already, can you believe it? Time flies when you're building something as important as your vocabulary. It doesn't need to be complicated. We're here to make it easy and fun.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people get stuck because they try to learn too many words at once, right? It's like trying to memorize an entire dictionary in one go. It's no wonder they feel frustrated.
Yep, that's a classic mistake. It's all about smart strategies. Instead of learning hundreds of words, it's better to learn a few words every day, but in a way that sticks. I'll tell you, when I started building my vocabulary, I used to focus on words that I could actually use in real conversations.
Oh, that's key. Relevance over quantity. What's the point of memorizing a list of words that you'll never use? For me, I focused on words that came up in TV shows and songs. They're more natural and connected to my daily life.
That's such a good idea, Zero. So the first tip we have today is to focus on words you hear and see in real life, whether that's in shows, podcasts, books, or even conversations with friends. Pay attention to the words you don't know and make a list of them.
And don't just write them down and forget about them. You need to actively use them. Try speaking them out loud or even writing your own sentences with those words. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Yes, active usage is the game changer. Another great method is to create word maps or word associations. Like, let's say you learn the word energetic. Instead of just memorizing the meaning, connect it to other words or images, like lively, active, or even something like a dancing person. This makes the word more memorable.
I love that. It's like turning vocabulary into a visual experience. And here's another tip. Don't shy away from synonyms. Let's say you learn the word happy. Sure, it's great to know, but how about learning words like joyful, elated, or content? It adds variety to your language.
Exactly. Expanding your vocabulary doesn't mean learning more difficult words. It's about learning words that let you express yourself better, more precisely. And it also makes you sound more fluent. I mean, imagine saying, "I'm elated to be here," instead of just, "I'm happy." It's a small change, but it makes a big difference.
And one thing I think a lot of people forget is the importance of context. You could learn a new word, but if you don't understand when to use it, it won't stick. Take the word exhausted, for example. It's not the same as tired. If you're talking about a long day of work, exhausted feels more intense than tired.
Oh, I totally agree. Words carry different weights based on the situation. And speaking of context, another good way to build your vocabulary is to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Whether it's watching movies, listening to music, or reading, the more you surround yourself with the language, the more words you'll naturally pick up.
Right. It's all about exposure. And don't stress if you don't understand everything at once. Pick up the meaning from context. Even if you don't know a word immediately, you can still guess based on what's happening in the scene or the conversation.
Exactly. Learning a language isn't a race. It's more like a journey. And the last tip I have for today, this one's a fun one, is to play word games. You can find apps or even play games like Scrabble, crossword puzzles, or trivia games. It makes vocabulary building feel like play rather than work.
Oh, I love that. Gamifying learning is such a great way to stay motivated. Plus, it's so much fun. You can even challenge friends to see who knows the most new words.
Oh, definitely. It turns into a little competition, and you both learn together. And before we wrap up, Zero, let's talk about one final thing: reviewing words regularly. Coming back to those lists we mentioned earlier. It's easy to forget words if you don't use them often.
Absolutely. Revisiting those words once a week or every few days helps you retain them long term. It doesn't have to be a huge effort, just a quick review, and you're good to go.
So, to wrap up, Here's what we've covered today. 1. Focus on words you'll actually use. 2. Use active methods like speaking and writing. 3. Make word associations and create word maps. 4. Learn synonyms to add variety to your language. Immerse yourself in English, and X play word games to make learning fun.
And most importantly, don't forget to practice consistently. Even if it's just for a few minutes a day, those small efforts will build up. You'll be amazed at how your vocabulary grows.
You got it. So that's it for today's episode of Day 4, Build Your English Vocabulary Easily. We hope these tips help you feel more confident and excited about expanding your English vocabulary.
Stay curious, keep practicing, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone. Happy learning.